to go. We are good to go. Thank you so much for hanging in there, everybody.
Hey guys, welcome to the live stream.
So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna kind of just warm up and have a little banter here. We're gonna just chat and let some more people get into the stream. Alex is really excited to do this AMA, and I've prepared a long list of questions from the community, and then after we're done with the first part of the AMA, all of you here live in Twitch and live in the Telegram will be able to ask your questions, and we will answer them live as well. So, Alex, is there anything you want to say to all of the Pathfunders out there who are watching this live right now before we get started?
Well, thank you all for coming. I mean, I was not expecting you to be so many here tonight. I was sure we'll have an audience, but not this big. Like, thank you guys. Really, thank you for coming, and thank you for showing your support throughout this project.
Yeah, the community support has grown immensely over the past few days, even in a down market, right? And that's something that I think speaks volume about PathFund and the community behind it, right? I mean, look at us just buying back these dips, and keep in mind, guys, you know, these are market-wide dips that are happening, right? The whole market's in a bloodbath, and somehow 3-4 day old PathFund was able to climb out of that hole and is still pumping. So that's just amazing, and amazing job by the community. Anything you want to add to that, Alex?
I really just want to thank them all again for all their trust and all their support, and for sharing our vision. I mean, we really hold the lines real good in the past few days, even though the market crashed a lot, and that affected us. People still had trust in our project, and they hold the lines. Like they really hold the lines. We really had very small dips. We ate them, all of them, and now we're back on track. And I'm sure that after tonight we're gonna be hitting new milestones.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely see it. And you know what's great? Like, we can see it in the chat here. Look at the diamond holders. You know, everybody here, you know, with the tokenomics and PathFund, every time we dip, every time we go back up, every time we dip, every time we go back up, you are just getting more path, guys. So diamond holders are going to win through this dip, and the diamond holders of PathFund are going to be the real winners here. So that's just exciting. So we'll go ahead and we'll jump into some of these questions from the community and some stuff that people want to hear. But to start things off, man, you know, how about that amazing coin market cap and CoinGecko listing in just 3 days after launch? You know, how did you guys pull that one off so quickly and, you know, get on there that quick?
Well, that was something that we had planned from before. The CoinGecko listing was filed within 2 hours, I believe, from launch, and that was something that we had planned for a long time. I mean, like, we really did our homework with this project, and we wanted to reach every milestone that we can reach in a short time. We were like, okay, let's do it. It doesn't really take that long to have your project listed on these platforms, and we were really grateful to have the community support and to have them sharing all the happiness that we had in those moments when we were listed so fast on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, there are a lot of tokens, you know, that wait weeks or a month to list on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. Do you think, like, the legitimacy and the real team behind PathFund is really kind of what helped get you on there faster?
Yeah. I mean, we were really into this. It wasn't like let's wait 1 or 2 weeks before we do the listing. Like, okay, we have our project launched. We finished the pre-sale. It was a dope pre-sale. We have our project launched. Like, let's go. Let's kick the next milestone. And we had our homework done. I mean, we did the CoinGecko within 2 hours. And our CoinMarketCap application was done in the next following days, and it was accepted like in 5 or 6 hours. I have the emails from that, and after that we just waited for them to update the graph. That was all.
Wow, I mean, that's just great. Like I said, if anything can speak to the legitimacy of the project, is both of those listings in the same day. That's killer. And then we talked about it, kind of as before we got started and waited for more viewers to come in. But that's, it must feel great to see, your brand new token, just a few days old, not only survive a market kind of semi-crash like this, but thrive then too. Some of the gains that PathFund has made yesterday and into today through this market crash, it's beating other tokens that have been around for months. Why do you think this is, and are you happy to see it?
I guess all of this happens for a reason. I mean, we really built our community on trust, and we've built it on transparency, and people sharing our vision and people believing in our project really helped us in a lot of areas with the project. Like, we gained a lot of traction. We've had people interacting with our posts on all social platforms. We've had good communication and transparent communication with the community in Telegram. I guess all of this adds up. We've built it on trust and transparency, and we will continue it that way. And all of this pays off in the end.
Yeah. And speaking about trust and transparency, I'm sure a lot of the diamond holders that held through the beginning can attest to the professionalism and the trust and transparency that the dev team at PathFund has done. Talk to me a little bit about the pre-sale, how that go, what went great, what went wrong, and how did you guys handle it, right? Was it as successful as you hoped it would be?
It was successful, without a doubt. Everyone can see that it was a very successful pre-sale. I mean, it was our first pre-sale. We've had it for a week planned to be live on DXL. In the first few days, we really didn't have that much traction. To have a project like this with an idea the idea behind it was so high that people wouldn't believe it at first. And in the first few days, we were getting like scam ratings and so on, and people were not really jumping in on the pre-sale. But as we gained more traction and we had more people in the Telegram, things started to change quickly. We've had people asking us like, why is your pre-sale lasting for a week when others are doing it in 2 days or in 2 hours? We've done that because the moment we've started our pre-sale, we've started building our community as well. I don't know if everybody does that, but that's the way we've done things. And I'm very thankful it worked out. It was all planned systematically, that we don't gain temporary hype and after that we die off. It was all planned in such a way that whoever sees the project and whoever has enough trust in us to come and at least ask some questions on the Telegram, he will have a week he will have a time of a week to join us in the pre-sale and to be a part of the project. What happened with the pre-sale, it was something that nobody expected. 3 days before the pre-sale, we were still at, I believe, 40 or 50 BNB, something like that, from 500 raised to be raised. The minimum soft cap of 250 was like, at that rate, it was out of reach. We still had our hopes high because, as you all know, people jump in these pre-sales at the last moment, and they don't want to keep their money blocked, and they jump in it at the last moment. Things changed really quickly. 36 hours before the pre-sale ended. Like, in that morning, when I woke up, I checked the Excel page. I see that we have like 70 BNB, 36 hours to go. We were already thinking like, okay, let's do some math. How many BNB are we gonna raise until the end? Let's do some math and see how many people are willing to reinvest if we have to relaunch. Because if you don't reach the soft cap, then the pre-sale is cancelled. The Excel returns the money to all the possible buyers, and then you would have to redo it or just call it quits. We were already making math like, okay, if we raise 150, let's go 100 soft cap and 200 hard cap. That wasn't the case. I mean, we've had tremendous support, and we had a good communication with the community, and I guess that helped us a lot to launch 24 hours before the pre-sale ended by reaching the hard cap. It was an ambitious goal. We were aware of it, that we were aware of the fact that 250 BNB soft cap, it's a lot for projects. Most of them are launching with 50 soft cap, 100 hard cap. We wanted to do something bigger, and our plan paid off in the end, and a lot faster. I mean, we've planned it to be with 500 BNB, so we have a big liquidity pool. So in the future, when we have whales, for example, if a whale sells for 500,000, that will not affect the price that much. We've thought about all the things. We took everything in consideration, and it all really worked out. What went bad?
That's great.
Yeah, what went bad with the pre-sale was the post-launch. When we call it finalized, I mean, we've had a notebook. We've literally had a notebook with all the steps that should be done from the moment of creating the contract on BSC Scan until the moment of listing it on PancakeSwap. We've had a notebook. We've had there the guidelines, and we really stuck to it. What went wrong there was, after the pre-sale was finalized and we call it done, we had an issue with the TakeSend from DXL. That TakeSend was stuck pending. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I think you just cut out briefly. You're all good.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, what happened there was that we had a stuck TakeSend from BSC Scan. It was regarding the communication of some contract functions that had to be called to allow people to claim their tokens that they bought during the pre-sale. One of the TakeSends got stuck, and we've managed to fix it like real quick, but we've had to mute the chat for a short while because there was a lot of panic going on, and we've had Nicholas taking care of the issue on BSC Scan, and me and Akashik were on the chat. We didn't know which thing to do first, to mute the chat or to announce to people. I was like, come on, let's inform the people that this is gonna be all right. It's not another rug pull or something. It's gonna turn out fine. Like, we have a plan and we are gonna stick to it. We know what we have to do, but how do we get the message through? Because there was a lot of panic in the chat, and there were two possibilities. One, when we were trying to communicate to the holders that this is all right, it's gonna be fixed, it's a bug, nobody's running away with the money, nothing bad is gonna happen, it's just a bug, we are gonna fix it, it's all right. We are already communicating with DXL, but we saw that our messages were not getting through, and we didn't wait long before calling another decision, and we've decided to mute the chat, and that could cause more panic in the community, or it could solve the situation. And in our case, it solved the situation because we've had Akashik who was ready to mute the chat, and I was ready with the messages. At the second he muted the chat, we were on Skype call. At the second he muted the chat, I pushed through with the messages. I informed the community, like, we are taking care of it. It's not a big deal. It's gonna be fixed real soon. And it worked. I mean, everybody was relieved, and it was all good.
Well, that speaks a lot, because there are plenty of early projects that launch on DXL, and that is exactly how they rug pull. They don't even build a rug to pull. They just get people to buy in, and then they don't release the tokens, right? So you guys understood that, oh no, this is bad, right? All the trust we built up could go away, but instead of doing what 99% of scammers do in that situation, you did what a ethical business would do in that situation. You explained to the investors what was going on, and you fixed it, and then everybody got their tokens. So if there was ever any doubt about PathFund's legitimacy, PathFund already had their chance to run away, and they didn't. They fixed it because they care about all the investors and all the holders of PathFund. So that's big. Yeah, man. Right off the bat, on launch day, they showed their legitimacy and built trust with their community. Yeah,
I mean, we were worried about, we've gained trust real hard. I'm not gonna lie, we've gained it systematically and throughout the entire pre-sale, but we've gained it hard. We've had a good and supportive community, but it was hard to get all this trust due to the number of all these rug pulls. There are literally too many rug pulls every day, and it's something that really has a bad reputation on BSC, on Binance Smart Chain. We were not worried about not being able to fix the issue. We were worried about people's finances and people's trust. We knew we could fix it. We just wanted to fix it in a way that it would be fair to everyone, because these contract functions, one of them, the same contract function, basically was calling the contract to enable claiming tokens for some holders, but it was stopping the trade. And we thought that, okay, it's not fair for others to trade and for others to not be able to claim their tokens. So we're going to stop everything, let everybody claim their tokens, and restart the project. And it turned out fine. It really turned out great.
Yeah, it's doing tremendous. You guys made the right decisions, both from a business point and from a crypto point as well. I mean, that was a tremendous way to handle it. And hey, the pre-sale's live, and PathFund is doing its own thing now. So what next question? We'll kind of move down here on the list, and that's what made you and the other devs, we kind of already touched on this, so we don't need to spend too long on it, but what made you and the other devs decide to create the PathFunders project, right? Like, what was your biggest driving force for it, and what is your biggest goal of PathFund, and how do you plan on achieving it?
Well, we wanted to do a project. We didn't know at the moment what project we were going to do, so we were thinking like, okay, let's do a project, but not like what everybody else is doing. Let's build something different, because we didn't want to be associated, and we don't want to be associated even now with hype coins or shit coins, how people call them. We don't want that kind of association, and we are taking care of this aspect even when we are collaborating with influencers. So shitcoins were out of question. Then we were thinking like, okay, let's do something that actually helps. And there was this part with charity tokens and everything. But charity tokens are already in the same hype train with the shitcoins. There are a lot of them right now, and most of them are not doing so well. I mean, there are a few contracts indeed that are working fine right now, but they do not have that dynamic that we were looking for. And also, just to do something to add up to a sea of charity tokens, it was not really up for us. So then we've decided like, okay, if we want to build a project, let's build something big. But how do we build something big? Because one of the few of the things that we don't believe in, it's buying back the liquidity and supporting the project with your own funds. This never ends well, and from our perspective, this cannot be a long-term project, and one in which you continuously invest from your own pockets, or one where you buy back the liquidity, sell it so you can reinvest it. That's not really working well, and we can see it throughout the entire Binance Smart Chain. Exactly. Then we thought like, okay, let's make it self-sustainable. But how do you make it self-sustainable? The contract has to support itself, and we've thought, okay, like, let's have a different approach, and that's how PathFund's really came to life. Let's make the contract self-sustainable. So of course there is a first-time investment in the token, and there still is an investment in the token from own funds, but let's make it sustainable over time, because otherwise it's not gonna go for the long run. And that's how it hit us. Like, if we can make it make money for itself, we can make everything with it. And that's how PathFund came to life. That's why we have a 3% tax that goes to marketing, and that's why we want to keep being transparent with it and inform the people that about every transaction that we do. I even informed them about 0.6 BNB transactions. Like, I'm gonna withdraw this to pay something small. I inform everybody about everything with that. PathFund, from the moment when we decided like, let's make this self-sustained, it was just like the biggest snowball ever. because if you have the money in a project, you can build absolutely everything with it. And that's how the PathFund Launchpad came to life, Path Launch as we call it. And it was just a snowball that was that kept on building, and it's literally not stopping. At this point, we've developed the idea so much that it's gonna be the first, as we see it, it's gonna be the first real business on Binance Smart Chain. It's gonna provide all the services and everything, and it's gonna be able to be self-sustained.
I love it. And like you said, you kind of disclosed there, you have the marketing wallet, and a lot of new investors may see that marketing wallet and be scared, right? Because it has so much in it. But as you've said, you can check it in the announcements. Every transaction that comes out of that wallet is noted and logged, and he announces it to the community before it's done. That marketing wallet is here for one thing and one thing only, and that is to grow PathFund and to grow all of your investments. That's it. If you guys can't see the transparency that the PathFund CEO has and the PathFund dev team has, that marketing wallet is going to take everybody, to the moon. That's what it's there for. It's to build the project.
Yeah. And if at some point we have also a separate team and development wallet. We have one for team and consultants and one for development. If at some point, and as it is the current situation now, the other wallets are locked. If we want to develop anything, or if we lack funds in one of the wallets, we will transfer the funds from one to another and then replace and then do the correction once the wallets are unlocked. So the funds may be moving from one wallet to another, but it's always going to be coming back as well. It's not just going to disappear or something. And we will always let people know about it.
Yeah, always. Transparency is key here, and that's what a professional business does, right? So, and then we want to talk about transparency, and this is, something that you want to share with everybody. How many members of the core dev team are there? What are their roles, and would you like to introduce them?
Well, with this occasion, I would like to introduce everybody. We have really a big team. Like we have 4 days post-launch, and we already have a 15-member team. I mean, the growth has been massive, not only on the charts, but also behind the scenes. So what I wanted to do, and I've asked everybody about this, and everybody is okay with it, I want to introduce the whole team, because this is not a one-man show, it's not the core team show. This is a rolling business, and everybody deserves to get their credit. Therefore, I'll start introducing myself, and then I will start introducing everybody else as well. So, as you all know already, I'm Alexander. I'm not some crazy weird guy or something. I have a degree in fine arts, and I've been studying this for all my life, but at some point engineering happened. For the past 8 years, I have been working as a software engineer, and also I've done automation in different languages like Kotlin, Java, and Xamarin. When I was a bit younger, I've completed some UI and UX courses as well. About my programming skills and capabilities, I'm a self-taught programmer. I've begun this when I was 13. To be honest, I was not aware what I was doing at that time, but it really stuck to me. So the first language that I've learned to program was Pascal, which is now probably a relic. I've never heard anybody mention anything about it anymore. And from there, it was just a never-ending list of languages that was put together, with Solidity being the latest of all of them. I personally truly believe in the power of example and self-education, and the fact that you should always keep on learning for as long as you live, because there is a lot to learn. And even though you may not learn one subject to the maximum, at least gain some medium knowledge, and that's going to help a lot. For the core team, I'm going to continue with the core team. We have Akashik. Akashik is a very vocal member of our team, and is a very valuable member of our core team. He's one of the co-founders he's the co-founder actually of PathFund's. I know him for the past 6 or more years, to be honest. And in this period, in real life, we have become business partners at some point down the road. Akashik has a degree has several degrees actually, one of them being in communication and public relationships, one of them being in marketing, and another one, the final actually, in finance. And as some of you may already know from the chat, he's also a successful entrepreneur in home country. The next valuable member of the core team is Nicholas. You may not have seen him a lot on the chat, but he's behind the scenes working non-stop. If you've seen improvements to the website or to the loading times or anything, that's because of him. He's a key member to the core team. He also has a vast experience of about 7+ years, close to 8 actually, in software engineering as well. A degree in business administration, and it's currently working in a quality assurance position for one of the best companies in his country. Yeah, so the core team is made of 3. Now, as you all know, we have expanded a lot, and this can be seen in every aspect of this project. The first, I'm gonna start with the expanded team. The first one I'm gonna start from there. It's gonna be Jack. You all know Jack. This guy is like working non-stop, and we couldn't be prouder of having him on board with us, and neither happier. Jack is our community relationships manager. He is an undergraduate, and he has a bachelor's in electronics and communications in engineering. As a little background info about him, after 3 years of perseverance, he was able to pursue his studies, and he actually graduated that bachelor's in public safety, and then continued with a marketing, master's degree in public administration. Jack, as you all can see, is really a hardworking man and perseverant, and this guy never stops surprising us. You should see maybe at some point we will post some of our messages from the mod chat, but like this guy, it's dropping bombs constantly and surprises us all the times. I really don't know if this guy has 24 hours in a day like us, or if he has more. Jack is basically the one who makes sure that everybody in our team is doing their job, and it has everything they are needing, and everything is done in a professional manner. So this makes Jack a key member, a key part in our team. Next one, we have Rose. Rose, she's like this big energy that we have in our team. She's a brilliant girl, and she's also the social media manager. Rose, at the moment, she began with moderating, from what I know, and some graphics, but now she coordinates the social media handlers, and her graphics, like, if you see anything amazing graphic done, that's because of Rose. In her real life to say so, Rose is a professional licensed teacher, and she is mostly engaged in proofreading and teaching grammar. She has been a crypto investor since 2017, and trust me, she really knows the market really well. Something that I have in common with Rose is that she thinks the experience is the best teacher to absolutely everyone. Excuse me, but I'm gonna drink some water. Phew.
Yeah, no, take your time.
Yeah,
it's a lot to cover, because the PathFund team is a real team with real experience in business, marketing, IT, and just in life. You know what I mean? That's why it's a lot to cover, because there's a lot to go on. You know.
Yeah, I mean, we thought about it as a business, and the way it evolved, and the people that we attracted, it really turned out to be a real business. And you will have more surprises. For example, we have Robert. Robert, it's a good guy. It's a really good guy, and he's one of our moderators. And we've talked with him, and he will soon be part of our developers team. Robert is currently an L1 data scientist that graduated computer science, majoring in software engineering. Robert has a passion for the blockchain, and he believes that combining artificial intelligence technology and blockchain can lead to a creation of a hybrid system. And ever since then, he was hooked with the idea of cryptocurrency. Another valuable member of our team, it's RJ. He's also a moderator for the moment, and we want him in the development team. So we're gonna just keep on stealing people from one position to another. So if you want to be a moderator, there's gonna be some spots left. RJ is a full stack developer at the moment with more than 7 years experience in web, backend, and mobile development. He's also a graduate of Bachelor's in Science and Computer Engineering. We have also the moderation team, the full moderation team. We have Jordan, whom you already know, and everybody loves Jordan, and he's like really the funniest of all of us. Jordan makes us smile every day, and he has the most positive energy, especially when he wakes up. And this is more of an inside joke, but he's really funny when he wakes up. The next one is Didier. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. Didier is the youngest of us. He's a student currently at a law university studying law and tax law. We hope that one day, when he finishes everything and PathFund will be what it was meant to be, he will be our lawyer. We have Benjamin. Benjamin is a good guy. I mean, he's one of the most calm and collected guys I've seen so far. He moderates the chat in a very professional manner, and by the looks of it, I mean, it looks like he really enjoys it. I can say we because I'm sure everybody else shares my opinion. We really appreciate his calm way of communication. I believe that's a valuable asset for our team.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, as you already know, and you have seen in the chat, we also have a fresh media team, social media team. There is a lot of work behind the scenes, and the team is like really new. Currently they are on a probation period, and all of them will be introduced at a later date, but all of them are really working hard. Like, all the platforms are hard to manage, and everybody deserves their credits for it.
Yep.
Phew.
Yeah,
Let's see.
I mean, yeah,
There is
that's pretty much the team.
yeah, but last but not least, I mean, it's a big team. I'm trying to remember everything, but it's a really big team. We have something that I believe nobody else is having right now. I'm not sure if anybody else is having, but if they have it, ours are better. I'm sure of it. Last but not least, guys, PathFund, it's beginning to grow a name in the crypto world. Even though we are just 4 days old, and we aim to be global. Like, we were sharing the print screens from Google Analytics for our website, and we were like, we're global. We really are global, and we are so global that we now have 2 ambassadors for now. The first one, it's Arad, and he's our Iran ambassador, and then we have Sayed for Egypt. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your names correctly. I'm really sorry for it. And guess what? There will be more ambassadors to come to PathFund in the following days. With this occasion, I would like to really thank you, all of you. I know I'm telling you this repeatedly in the mod chats, but I want to thank all of you again for all your hard work. I know how hard it is, and for all your sleepless nights, and maybe really everything. I mean, you guys have been amazing. We've pushed this project from the pre-sale until now, full throttle, and it's turning out nice, and I couldn't be more grateful to have a team like you are, and I'm really proud that you are all here, and I'm blessed, like really blessed every day. I consider myself being one. So thank you.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's excellent, guys, and that's an example there. That's how a CEO treats, his company, and treats everybody that works with him, not for him. You see, it's a team effort here at PathFund, and Alexander just does it right. So you kind of hit on the next question here when you were answering that one, and that is, will the members that have docked to each other reveal themselves to the community in the future. And you kind of just said that. Yes, there are big plans, to bring everybody out into the light. You just wanted to go ahead and introduce everybody in here tonight.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there are plans to dox, but doxing it's a complicated thing. I jumped head on into this because I know the community trusts me, and I know I can trust the community. But as the project will grow, we will take into consideration doxing for the rest of the team. But at the moment when we will be fully aware of what doxing an entire team can mean, if we are not fully aware of all the consequences that may occur or about all the effects, then it's gonna take some time until this happens, if this happens completely. But bear with us. It's not because we have something to hide or we don't want to do it. We just want to know what we are getting ourselves into, because it may seem like a small gesture, but something like this can have an effect on your private life from now on, and it can change your life for the good or for the better, but it can change it. And we want to know exactly what we are getting ourselves into. As we've planned everything until now with the project, we want to plan this thing also, and we want to make it turn out great.
Exactly, man, and that's one of the things. A lot of people they stress, dox the dev team, but to fully come out, people value their privacy, and when you're in the cryptocurrency space, it's not like a small niche. This is, like you said, PathFund is going global. We're already global. It's a global docs. People will know you anywhere you go. So, the community has to understand why certain members of the team, may want to, not fully come out and dox themselves, right? People can be introverted, not extroverted, guys. So, give them time. But as you can see, Alex, he's here and he's ready to share the news with you. So that's great stuff. So, and speaking of some news, as all of you guys have heard, the team is very experienced in all of these different industries. So, of course, if there's any team that can build and put together a platform like PathFund and PathLaunch, this is the team that's going to do it. And you hit on this before, Alex. You guys haven't set a specific date for it to launch because you don't want to, overpromise and underdeliver, right? You just want the community to know that you're working on it day in and day out. And I think you kind of already have hit on that. But do you have a plan on launching maybe a beta or an alpha to the early community members of the PathFund platform?
Yeah, well, to answer everything, the reason why we didn't put an exact date on anything and we've just put the quarter is because we don't want to create false expectations. We know how it is with the false expectations, and we really don't want to create that. But as we make progress and as we are approaching things and when we are certain of it, we will announce it in a timely manner. The fact that we didn't put dates, it's not because it's gonna take forever. It's not gonna take forever, and as soon as we have an alpha or a beta or at least a UI sneak peek, we are gonna show it to the community. It's gonna be the same level of communication as we've had until now, and it's gonna be the same throughout the project. As soon as we have something that's real and it can be seen, we are gonna show it to the community.
Amazing. And I don't think there's anybody in here that is going to ask or doubt your transparency. And if the moment you have something to put on the table and show them the PathFund platform, you guys are going to do it right away.
Yeah. Even if you have the wireframe or we have the first mock-ups for the UI, everything that we will be having, and it's not going to fully disclosure our project and the architecture behind it, we will do it if it's safe for us and it's important for the community, and I'm sure it is. We will do it, and we will show and share with the community everything we have.
Fantastic. And then speaking about the platform and sharing with the community, maybe you can let us in. Will the Path token play a vital role as an operating asset on the PathFund platform, thus increasing the value of the Path token exponentially?
We are gonna give people a reason to hold Path in several ways. One would be by default due to the nature of the contract, that as we've said, PathFund is going to sponsor the project that it launches, but it will also sponsor itself. PathFund was thought as a business, and that's why we need to constantly increase awareness, and people is going to always come back and to always reinvest if they haven't already. So yeah, Path will be giving them this reason to hold, because it's gonna constantly increase in value. We are never, as some people call us, we are a never-ending gold mine, and that's technically true. But we want to call it self-sustained, because that's how we've envisioned it. So the constant growth in value plus the staking, it's a reason. The other reason would be that you would have to hold a certain number, which we didn't really set yet, in order to gain access to the platform, to gain access to all the benefits. As people have already saw on our website, there is this small card there with exclusivity. Like Pathfunders are going to have exclusivity to future project releases, and that will be done in a tiered system, and it will be done in a fair way to all the Path holders. There was something else that I wanted to add here, and I just had it in my mind right now, and it ran away.
No worries. But basically, it's a good way to kind of summarize. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I remember. This is gonna be a thing said and done. It's not gonna change. Everybody who joined PathFund's during the pre-sale will have lifetime access to the future project releases. That's something that you don't have to worry. If you, I guess we've lost our guy.
I think we lost you again there.
Yeah, I think I lost. I don't know. It's a network issue. So all the path holders that joined us during the pre-sale, they will have lifetime access to future project releases, as long as they hold some path tokens too. So this is not something that You back? Okay.
Yeah, okay, we're back. Good. No worries.
Yeah, so everybody's gonna have full-time access. If you trusted our vision, you will have lifetime benefits from it, as long as you're keeping some paths there. Not all of them, not a big number, but some paths. I don't know, a small amount, insignificant amount.
But basically, yeah, if you trusted the platform enough to slap down a little bit on the pre-sale, as you said yourself, right? You know, you're not going to have to hold hundreds of billions, right? Just a small little amount of path, and because you believed in the vision and the product at the start, you're going to maintain access to it forever.
Yeah.
It's great.
And the tiered system, even though there are no numbers set, sorry for interrupting you, but I wanted to clarify this from now. Even though there are no numbers set from now, the tiered system will be done in such a way that it's going to be fair for everybody to be able to access the future project releases. It's not going to require to be a whale in PathFund's to gain access to the other projects. It's going to be an accessible amount to most of the holders in crypto world.
Absolutely, and that's huge. Like you said, it's not only the people with the wealthiest bags will be able to use the project. So that's how the community care.
Yeah, that would kill the continuity of projects. I mean, if you take somebody with 500,000 and you give him access to another project, you know for sure that he's gonna have 500,000 there as well, and it's gonna kill the continuity of project, and that's not something that we are aiming for.
Exactly. And speaking of the projects that PathFund is going to launch, I'm sure this has been one of the biggest questions asked by the community, and it's about the security, right, of people who launch on PathLaunch and with PathFund. How will the PathFund team vet and verify the projects that will be launching and funded by Path? Will you be making them docs with an ID verification, a background verification? What are you going to do to make sure these projects are not only safe and secure, but they'll be technologically secure too?
First of all, so all the projects are going to be pre-audited, and that's a fact. I mean, we are not going to change this at all in the future. Everybody that wants to launch through PathFund will have to go through an audit, either done by us, either done by a third party, but it has to be done pre-launch. You cannot launch and do it afterwards. The second thing, and I see that the other platforms are not offering this thing, and they haven't taken it into consideration yet. It's the fact that people need to have the technical capabilities to go to sustain a project of this magnitude. So if you want to launch through PathFund, you will go through an audit first. After that, you will have to prove that you have the technical capabilities, and that would require doxing and KYC. I mean, we have to know who we are dealing with, and that's a really important thing, to have the technical capabilities. Because, for example, you take somebody with no technological background, and problems exist everywhere. Either and some of the time, or most of the time, they may not be due to your fault, but you still have to know how to fix them. So if somebody is not going to have the technical capabilities to get this thing done, it's not going to be launched. You will have to have this.
Exactly, and that's huge. Like you said, a lot of platforms, they're quick to audit someone and just look at the contract and be like, okay, that's solid, but they don't actually do any digging into the technical aspects of the team, the professionalism of the team, and the true identity of the team. Yeah. So basically what you're saying, because everyone can see in this AMA, right, you care about PathFund. If a project launch on PathFund, it is going to be safe, no matter what. You wouldn't jeopardize PathFund and the image of PathFund to launch a halfway project, if you will.
Yeah, it's. I mean, in the there are a lot of things on the line. It would be PathFund's reputation and our reputations as developers and as the staff of PathFund. So it's gonna be our reputation in the middle. It's gonna be our launchpad reputation in the middle, and it's gonna be the buyer's money. And as everybody knows already, we are not playing with people's money, and we are not going to let this happen. It's a lot of things to take into consideration when you are vetting for somebody that is gonna be safe. And not only that's also one key reason why we don't want to, for example, to send, as you know, PathFund is going to also sponsor the project, but we are not just going to send the money to that development team, even if they have the technical capabilities, and even if they have their contract audited and it's going to be all right. We are still not going to just directly send the money and like, hey, here's 50,000, go deal with the marketing. The marketing will be done internally. I mean, even though we trust them and we have verified them that they have the technical capabilities, launching a project really takes a lot of work, a lot of connections, and you don't really have time to do trial and error. You have to be really quick with everything, and you have to be very on point with your decision, because that can cause long-term effects that may be irreversible at some point. So PathFund is going to handle as much as it can for every project launch. I mean, we are going to pre-audit them, we are going to sponsor them. They will have to prove that they have the technical capabilities of pulling such a thing through. It's going to be big. I mean, we will verify the project thoroughly to ensure the buyer's safety.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, that's huge. And you kind of just hit on that final question that we had in this section here, and that was, what kind of funding will PathFund offer to the projects? You're essentially going to offer them their marketing fund to help them get it up, but like you said, you're not just going to give them that money. PathFund is going to help manage and allocate that money to launch their project.
Yeah, well, PathFund is indeed going to provide the money. We will be also available as mentors, as we will provide guidance whenever it's needed. We can provide guidelines or trainings or whatever it's needed. We can provide, or we can provide the materials so they can learn. It's not something impossible to do. But PathFund is not just going to send money away. As I've said earlier, we envision it as being a business, as being a real business, and PathFund, even though it will send money or it will invest in other projects, there has to be a return of investment. So PathFund, besides doing the marketing for the new projects, it will have to see a return of that investment. And that investment, we still haven't decided about it yet completely, like to be said and done, but it can be a percentage of that project. Not a big one, of course, but it can be a percentage, and that's one of the options.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, that sounds great, and I think that's a great way to handle it, right? You have to
Yeah.
make sure that PathFund isn't bleeding the project dry by funding all these marketings. You know, no one expects a business not to make money, and I don't think any of the holders and investors, you know, would be upset that, yes, when PathFund launches a project and sponsors that project, they will, of course, make a small amount back from the project that they've launched. So that just
Yeah.
makes sense, right?
Yeah, we're not just going sending money away endlessly. I mean, we're not taking money from our holders and sending it to other projects. And no, it's not going to happen like that. I mean, PathFund will indeed fund and sponsor those projects, but it will have a return of investments that will be spent in PathFund. And one thing that I want to add here in this part of speaking of investments, people may see and will see actually that all the wallets will have stocks of PathFund. For example, the marketing wallet now has a lot of PathFund in it. At the moment, we are not really doing transactions with it, but as the project advances, I want everybody to know from now that in each wallet, team and consultants, development, and the marketing wallet will have also BNB in it, or a stable coin in it. And the reason why we do that is first that we don't want to be pressured by the moment to sell when we don't want to sell or we cannot afford to sell, as it has been in the days before. We were pretty low on the graph and we needed the money to do the audit, but we preferred to wait to not cause a dent in the graph. So for that reason, we will have a parity and we will have BNB. Another reason why I've said we will have stable coins, because as we envision it as being a business and making profit or having a return of investment from other projects, we will have stable coins. In case the market crashes again, we can invest that money from the stable coins, and as a business we will make money that we will reinvest in one of the areas of our project, be it extra consultants or development phases or marketing, or just keep it as it is, keep it as a profit, but we will reinvest the money that PathFund produces, because we envision it as a business and it will be done as a business.
Exactly. A business makes money. You can't just take it all out. You have to reinvest back in business.
Yeah.
And I mean that I don't think anybody in here could ask any more of a CEO to take care of the business and the company and the community that they're growing. So I mean, I think that wraps up, you know, all of our set questions that we collected and gathered from the community, and now that ends the first half of the AMA, everybody. I hope that you all enjoyed that. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to open up the Twitch chat. Well, I mean, it's already open, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Drop your questions into Twitch chat. I'm going to read them off to Alex, and then he will go ahead and answer them. We're going to try to do one question per person, and we've already been on for 55 minutes. We did have to schedule for an hour, but no worries. We will go over that time if needed. But Alex is exhausted, so we need him to get some rest.
Yeah,
so,
it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to let everybody know what time it is there for you, Alex? If they question your dedication.
Yeah, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, but this is still early. Considering what has happened in the past in the project, this is still early. Yeah, but it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Your CEO is live, looking sharp, at 2 a.m. in the morning to do this AMA for you guys. I don't know what more you can ask. So let's get to these questions here, and we'll go ahead and start. So let me read a few of them real quick, and 1 second.
Sure.
So we kind of already touched on this one, but we'll just hit it real quick. And excuse me if I pronounce any of these names terrible, but Lalochik1 says, what measures will PathFund implement to avoid scam projects launching from its platform, knowing that a large percentage of new projects on Binance Smart Chain are scams?
Yeah, as I've said before, no project will be launched before being pre-audited, and not only that it will be pre-audited, but we will also ensure that there are no tricks in the contract functions that may transform it into a honeypot or do not leave room for rug pulls. Another thing that will make sure that we are not launching scam projects, we will do a background check on everybody that wants to apply for this type of service. You have to prove, as I've said, you have to prove that you have the technical capabilities, you and your team, to pull this off, because it's not an easy job, it's not a one-man show, and it's not something that everybody can do. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you guys, like you said, he hit on it once, but they're not just auditing the contract, they're auditing the team's knowledge, skills, technical development, actually, background checking, getting IDs on file. If it's going to go up on PathFund, Alexander is not going to risk PathFund's reputation.
Yeah.
It's going to be a solid project. So we'll go on to the next question here. How will you guarantee the continuous use of the platform? Will you include other blockchains in addition to Binance Smart Chain, and how will you help give those more exposure to these new projects?
Well, for start, I can tell you that we will definitely be launching on BSC. I mean, we will include other blockchains at some point down the roadmap, maybe in a year or so. But I don't want to create any false expectations, and I don't want to say that, oh, we are going to do everything. I mean, we are going on Polka Starter, and we are going on Cardano or anything. Let's keep it simple, let's keep it real, let's take it one step at a time, as we have done until this point. And when the moment of expansion comes, if we can do it and if it's a smart move, we will certainly do it. It's not, we are not going to be only on Binance Smart Chain. As I've said, it's going to be one of a kind. We envision it as a business, and it will grow when there is room for growth. That's for sure.
Awesome. And then are there plans to have a profile section through PathFund that would give launching projects a site to market themselves to the Path community without the competition of places like Reddit, right? So like when PathFund create their own kind of community forum, their own place where people could promote their own projects as well.
Yeah, I mean, we will market the projects through our communication channels. Not only that, but all the projects that we are going to be launching will be guided through all the marketing phases. Marketing, it's a very complicated thing to do. Advertising as well. If you're not doing it right, it can cost you $1,000 a day, and you have zero return of investment. That's something that a new project cannot afford. Even though we are sponsoring it, it's not something that you want to see from the start, that you are just putting money in, and not that you don't have money out, but you don't see a return of investment. So we will use all our channels and all of our knowledge to help this project gain exposure. As we are helping them to set them on the right path, we will make sure that they will get the exposure needed in order to get to where they want to go.
Perfect, fantastic. And then we have another question here that's been hit on twice here, and they would like to hear you answer this. Why is the liquidity, is it locked for a year and not longer, like 5 years? Was there a decision for 1 year versus 5 years or 3 years, and why was that decision made?
It's a number of factors. A lot of things were taken into consideration when choosing 1 year period as our go-to period. One of them being that we may want, and probably at this rate we will, upgrade the contract at some point. In order to upgrade the contract, you will need to reform the liquidity to create a parity. So one reason why we didn't lock it for more than 1 year, because as we envisioned it, we may need a contract upgrade. So if we need one, we know for certain that in 1 year from now we can do it. We can do it in a way that nobody loses money or anything. We just transfer the liquidity and that's it. At the moment when the lock expires, we can just reform it and do a snapshot of all the current holders, and we just move the project to a new contract that's going to be improved. So in 1 year from now on, if we need it, we can do it. Another reason why we've blocked it for just 1 year, it's because if we wanna offer the services, as you all know, then we will block it again for 10 years or more, or for however long it's needed, but through our platform, because we are doing the same thing as the services that we've locked it with, but a lot better. So we are gonna do it internally as much as we can. We're going to take a lot of the processes and do it internally.
Amazing. Yeah, no, I don't think there was a better way that you could have answered that question. Yeah, it makes sense. Like you said, I can think of many projects that have had to swap from like V1 pancake swap to V2, or they're just upgrading their contract. Moonrat is an example, right? Like, if your liquidity is locked, you can't upgrade your contract. You can't move that liquidity pool over. You do a snapshot, you update your contract, you move the liquidity to the new contract, and everybody has the exact same amount of money and exact same amount of tokens as they did before the new contract.
Yeah.
Beautiful way. And then right here, this was a very good question. This is from the Sanuk 2. Keeping it simple, give us your elevator speech on PathFund for new investors.
Keeping it simple, but
just
giving
a simple, 30-second elevator speech. What would you say to someone if you met them in an elevator walking down the street and they said, "Hey, are you the CEO of PathFund? Why should I invest in your project?"
Why should you invest? Because we didn't create the project as a way of helping our well-being. We've created this project, but without thinking at ourselves and to our benefit. We've created it for the community. We didn't envision it like, okay, let's go ahead and make money, or let's go ahead and do this for us. We envisioned it like, okay, let's go and do something big. And the way that this PathFund is built, and the contract and the whole idea around it, it's going to be a game changer. And I'm not saying this because I'm the owner, or I'm the co-founder, or because I'm invested here. I'm not saying this for any other reason, except that I truly believe in the project, and I truly believe in the real value that it will have in a year or two. As you can all see, we have gathered a pretty big amount of people in our community, and we didn't use even though we used the same advertising channels, we gathered a different type of community. But that was more than 30 seconds. Just believe in the process. Believe in the process.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Asking, and it just kind of goes to show, right? If you ask a CEO about his elevator speech about his project, and he can't do anything but give you a genuine, just thoughtful answer, that just goes to show you guys, it's more than an elevator speech project. This is a project that has so much potential. Even the CEO can't fit it all in 30 seconds.
Yeah, I really can't. Yeah. I really can.
Yeah, exactly. Let me search for a few more questions here. Let's see. Yeah, not for ourselves, but for the community's well-being. Exactly. That's what all PathFund was for. And then we had another question here. What is PathFund and its use case? From Young Saint, we've covered that a bunch. Definitely Young Saint. I would advise you go to PathFund's website and just read up on it. And rewatch this AMA. I think you're going to learn a lot. Here's a good question. Right? Everyone likes to see the person behind the CEO, right? What is your favorite drink and what is your favorite color?
My favorite color is black. I mean, I have all my dressing black. I cannot deny it. And my favorite drink, it has to be gin. I mean, if we are talking alcoholic, it has to be gin. That's my go-to drink.
I like gin.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like some gin and juice?
Gin and tonic. No, not really juice.
Gin and tonic. Hey,
Yeah.
look at that. That is a classy man right there, guys. If that's all you needed to know, his favorite color is black, and he likes gin and tonic. That's pure class right there, people. I love it. I love it. So, and then we had another question here from Telegram, and it popped up in Twitch as well, and that is, what are the partnerships you'll be building, and what is.
I think we've lost you. Okay, can somebody forward that question on Twitch? Like, can somebody forward that question on Twitch before we get our guy back? Okay, you're back.
Here we are. Yep, I'm back. Sorry about that. What are the partnerships that you'll be building with PathFund? What are some platforms or partnerships that you might be going after? What are some partnerships you envision that you can disclose right now?
For sure, there will be partnerships with auditing platforms and with auditing services. And one thing that we really want to do is to have the top-notch marketing. And for that, we will be creating collaborations, long-term collaborations between PathFund and advertisers. Like, when we will be launching a project, we want to have all that project needs in order to be successful. We are sure that if it passes our verification, the team behind it is capable of pulling it through. But if we add it and we pair it with our connections that we can get throughout this time, and we give him the happy path, then there's no stopping for them either.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, and that's and that kind of like can lead us into the next question, and that is, and I kind of don't want to read this question because it seems a little fuddy, but having a CEO directly answer to some FUD can build a lot of confidence in the community. So
Yeah.
PathMoon asked, I have a question at this very moment. In the worst case, Bitcoin crashes to $10,000 and the market does too. How will PathFund go on? You devs guys go back to work normally, or do you stick with the project until the end?
I was having my mouse over that question since the beginning of the Q&A with the community members. I was waiting for you to call it. That's something I'm really glad that you asked, because we envisioned PathFund as a business, as I've said until now, and PathFund will have stable coins. The wallets, as I've said, will have PathFund, Path tokens, it will have BNB, and it will also have stable coins. The reason why we have stable coins is exactly as I've said before. If anything happens, we can rebuy, and we can make profit, and we can reinvest. So if BTC crashes to 10,000, I can't wait for that. PathFund is going to have a lot of funds, and it's going to reinvest it.
Yeah, I think you answered that correctly. Like he said, you heard it here. If Bitcoin crashes to 10,000, he can't wait for it. That just means he's going to reinvest harder, and we're going to all come out ahead. That was the best answer you could have given, brother. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah. I mean, we really put a lot of thought into this, and all the logic behind it, it's beautiful. I mean, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of everything that PathFund is, and I want everybody to share our vision. And if anybody has any questions, just bring them on.
Perfect. Well, guys, like he said, if you have any questions, just bring them on. We're pushing over our time now for the AMA, but we had a lot of good questions from the community here, the ones that we gathered for the first part of the AMA, and the live ones that came in at the end. Like we talked about, this giveaway, the $250 worth of Path, that's another thing too. It was originally 250 billion, 100 billion, and
Yeah.
Alexander said, I don't want to give them the tokens. He said, because the market's so crazy right now. He was like, I could give them the tokens and it could lose value. So, let's just give them $250. So the devs and the mods have been looking at these questions. Alex has been looking at these questions. And the question is, Alex, all eyes are pointed to you. Who do you think asked the best question from the community? And who are we going to send that $250 worth of Path to right now?
For the best question from the community.
Mm-hmm. Best question, most engaging, could be funny or silly. Just who do you think had the best question?
It's a hard pick. I mean, it really is a hard pick. Can you remember me, please, the question from the Telegram, if you have it?
Yeah, yeah, the one from the Telegram, that was Caribou XL. What are the partnerships that you'll be building? Half Moon asked the question about the BTC crash to 10,000. And let's see here. I'm just picking out the 3 questions that all of the devs like the most too, so that way you can kind of narrow it down. We're going to let the CEO have the final decision. And then Skell's question got a lot of attention, and he did ask another really good question too. We just didn't really cover it, but it was from the initial concept of the idea. Which executable idea do you feel will have the most impact on this project for the investors? And of course, you would say the same thing as I would assume, and that would be, launching the PathFund platform, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. So I think it's definitely between PathMoon, Skell's, and Caribou.
Well, I liked. To share our vision, but Skills I believe has the most engaging question.
Yeah, the most engaging question, and Skills really let the community see, the kind of classy guy you are, right? Black and gin and tonic. So Skels, you are the winner. If you are comfortable, you can post your public address in chat right now, so everyone can see it. We can send you that 250, or you can PM it directly to Alex. But he's going to pay you right now, and we would love for the community to know that you are paid right now. So we're going to send.
Yeah, so I can send you the tokens in Path if you want. Just DM me on Telegram, and we make it happen. Yeah. Come on, Scars, don't be shy.
Look at that, Skels. In a down market, Skels can go ahead and make $250, guys.
Yeah.
Yep. And like I said, and we're about to end the stream, guys, but we really want to make sure that he gets paid on stream, and we want him to tell you guys that it's been confirmed. So, Skels, have you gone ahead and sent Alex a PM?
Yeah, I just DM'd him on Telegram, so he can share me the address.
Perfect. Because that's one of the things that a lot of communities do is they do giveaways and they fake the giveaways, right? We want you guys to know that we're as real and genuine as it gets.
No, I mean, we had the Twitter contest. We gave away $500 split to 5 individuals. We have and we will be launching a new Twitter contest soon, and there will be there will be many more to come, because the community has given us so much, and we want to give something back as well.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so it seems like Skels is copying his wallet address. I don't think he's ever had anybody send him money before. He's probably very excited.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's the thing. That's what's funny too. A lot of crypto investors, they've actually never had anyone send them money. They've only bought,
Oh no, we've been sending, and we will keep on sending. I mean, we really view it as a business. I'm really firm on it. We view it as a business, and that's just gonna keep on growing. But it's not in our benefit to say so. It's gonna be in everybody's benefit. And even I know this may sound weird or something, like how could somebody think about the community or about giving back or anything like that. I can share you what I've said before in the chat. Okay, Skels, so this is your address. I can share you in the meanwhile what I've said in the chat as well. When there were problems with the launch, we were worried that all the trust we've built so hard was going to vanish. and that was a thing that fixed by itself pretty quick. The other thing that happened right afterwards from this situation was the fact that the chat was relieved we didn't scam them. I found that I felt that as a mixed feeling, because we were relieved that the project is safe and the community, we proved to the community that no matter what, they can trust us. But at the same time, we were saddened by the fact that there are so many rug pulls every day that it caused this feeling in people to feel relieved when they are not scammed. And it really rubs me the wrong way, to say it so. It was not a very nice thing to see, and I don't know if everybody else felt it, but I felt it for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so I've sent you now, Scales, $250 from the marketing wallet. I'm announcing it live, so I'm announcing the community as always. It has been sent in Path. You can either keep them or swap them as you wish.
Yeah, and I'll tell you right now, guys, $250 worth of Path in this down market, I would definitely keep that $250 worth of Path. So,
who wouldn't?
Exactly. But other than that, guys, I mean, this is pretty much it. Of course, I'm going to let Alexander kind of sign off, and I wish you all well, and then I'll kind of wrap it up, and we'll be good to go. So, Alex, is there anything you would like to say to the community before we hop off of here?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, I would really like to thank the community. Without you, none of this would have been possible. And it's not just a nice thing to say. It's a thing that's real. Without the community's support, we couldn't achieve what we have achieved until now. Another big thank you to our moderation team and to all our extended team. There is an insane amount of work going on behind the scenes that you may see or may not see. But the way, for example, in the first day when we've begun expanding, the only guidance I gave to the others, okay, we are losing our guy again. The only guidance I gave to the others was that we have to be firm, we have to be polite, and everything has to be handled in the professional manner. And that can be seen throughout PathFund. I'm really thankful to have this team. How do I stop this? You back, mate? Okay, you're back.
I'm back.
You're back. Yeah. So take a moment to appreciate everybody in this team. It's not a one-man show. It's not a two-man show or three-man show. It's a big show. It's going to get even bigger than this, and just buckle up and enjoy the ride. It's a thing that I'm very proud of, the way it's turning out to be, and I will be even more proud when it's all done.
Absolutely. Once this project is complete, everybody that is holding on to Path is gonna be so thankful that they held through this bear market, and I mean, it's really gonna revolutionize the Binance Smart Chain. I mean, guys, this first AMA, we can't thank you all enough for coming out and watching. Congratulations again to Scales for winning the first giveaway. I do also want to announce that I am also doing a 1BNB giveaway. You can find it on Twitter. I've tagged at PathFund. We've also tagged their Twitter, and it is posted in the Telegram. So if you would like another chance to win 1BNB worth of PathFund, you can find me on @CryptoVendor on Twitter and go join the giveaway there, because just like we were serious about this giveaway, we will be giving away another BNB worth of PathFund. So, other than
Thank
that,
you so
is
much.
there anything else that you would like to say to the community, Alex?
It's been a rough period, to say so, with the sleep, but in the end, it really paid off, and I'm grateful for all of this. I'm really, really grateful. If anybody still has any other questions or has anything that should be heard, I would love to hear it. And as I've always said, I encourage everybody to speak and to raise questions. I encourage everybody to FUD when there is something to FUD about. But we will all respond to everything. But if there is FUD, at least please come with arguments. Why you think it is that way? FUD should create a discussion. So let's have a discussion about anything that concerns you or anything that you're happy about. Let's have a discussion. I believe we can do that, and we can discuss everything in a very transparent and professional way.
Awesome. As you guys know, he's all about professionalism and transparency. So once again, guys, this was Alexander, the CEO of PathFund. I hope you guys all feel even just ecstatic about your investment in PathFund, and you know what it's going to grow to. We kind of dropped a little tagline in the Telegram the other day. I would love to see it all over Twitter. Hashtag PathFund, hashtag PathFunders. Remember, guys, we're bold, we are adventurous, we are PathFund. We're here to change the finance smart chain. Thank you all for joining. You all have a wonderful evening. We'll see you on the next AMA.
Thank you, guys. Thank you all for coming.